What up traders, what up investors, Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and we're looking at another enormous hedge fund or trading firm buying a very not far out, maybe 48 days away in August 21st. They're buying another straddle. This is again where you buy the put and call at the same strike price, and you're hoping for a dramatic push lower. They're buying the 390. If you want to go ahead and skip ahead, we'll break down the trade. I'll put a timestamp there. We're going to do a quick overview of Nvidia stock, and then we'll break down the trade, and then we'll have some announcements. All right, guys? All right, so let's go ahead and jump into Nvidia. Nvidia literally hit an all-time high on Thursday at nearly 390. This is where, again, this position was taken forth. We can look in the trading tab below. This thing has just been a monster. Even if with the pandemic and the virus really kind of took it down, the 200-day really came in for really strong support here. Not completely, but it really was hovering around that area. Made a V-shaped bottom, and then has been climbing up between the 21 as really the support on the way up. Really missed out an opportunity here when it kind of dipped back here below like the 356 level here for a potential push higher. This thing has just been a true market darling in the sense of everything that you can see. It's been a leader in technology. It's a growth stock. It's in the chip stuff. It's in the future. It's just a growth stock, and it pays a dividend. Like, this thing is really an outperforming company. That being said, we also see a squeeze sitting up here. This is, again, a potential propulsion for it to kick higher or lower. The squeeze just indicates that there's a very tight amount of volume coming in. So when the Bollinger Bands and Keltner channels get tight up, this is a potential springboard to going higher prices or lower. But with the indications of RSI being well above 60 and looking for the volume oscillator to continue to climb to the first green line, which is around 40-ish, this is a really strong candidate for potential higher prices. So looking at where we could be going, I kind of wanted to do an old Fibonacci retracement from the previous high of this year. Previous high, again, it's relative to what we're talking about with the last downswing. And we're going to look for the 1272 extension, and that really kind of hit that fairly fast after its quarter, then kind of traded sideways a little bit, and then took a little bit to continue going higher. So the next meaningful target they're going to be looking at is around $400. So that's not honestly too far off from where we're currently at. We're only talking 15-ish bucks, 16 bucks if you want to be politically correct. It's going to be, that's easily very much doable. Again, if they come out, again, no crystal ball here, if they come out and say, you know what, we actually don't have a product, and it's just a bunch of dog food, and we put dog foods in our graphics cards or whatever. I don't know. I always make these stories up of what could happen, and get ready for anything to happen in the market without a doubt. But if you're looking at history and if you're looking at the charts, the 21 and 34 has been a very strong support on the way up. Can we continue going up? Yes, stocks can go up for quite some time. The RSI has not really peaked yet. As you can see here, it really peaked here with the RSI breaking above 80 and then kind of came back down to the 21. So I'm kind of guessing if you're not in it yet, you kind of have to be somewhat patient. I don't see an earnings report on the horizon, so potentially that next earnings report can really just jolt it up, potentially getting well above that $400 price target and then kind of slowly coming back to the 21 and 34 for a potential buying opportunity. In the meantime, if you're not in it, for myself, like I'm not in it, I'm actually in AMD, sad face. This has been a potential really market leader candidate, and has just been performing extremely well, and basically having so many different categories that it can propel the stock higher and higher. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into the trade that we saw on Thursday. Again, we're talking about that straddle, which was about 5,000 contracts, was 5,000 contracts at the 390 call and put. You can kind of see that highlighted here, and then you can also see someone else did a similar trade in the afternoon as well. They did the same. I guess this must be around probably their earnings, especially in August. 400 put and call, but they only did 1,500 contracts. So basically, they just bought like the delta 50-ish for, again, potentially trying to get a breakout higher or lower. So let's go ahead and I'm going to swing over the the trade tab for Tastyworks is what I use for trading options. Down here, you can see that the overall breakdown, we have 5,000 contracts for August 21st. Again, 48 days away. The 390 put and call, we're buying both of them. We're looking for the overall max loss, or the cost of the trade is around $25.5 million. The probability of profit is about $45 again. So what we need to see happen on this little demonstration up here is basically the price needs to continue going higher or lower. If it just trades in between the range of 340 and 440, it's not going to be very lucrative for this option, because it's just going to get very much it's going to become worthless towards the expiration. And the faster it moves up or down, the more money it's going to make. Basically, it can make an infinite amount of money. That being said, because you can see here on the max profit is the infinite symbol, where you can see if the stocking can go literally to the moon, whatever that number could be. Seeing that literally the stock can go to the moon, because you see that the max profit is the infinite symbol. So again, if it breaks 440 and continues going to the moon, I can scroll all the way out. It can just kind of demonstrate basically if it closes at expiration 48 days from now, the P&L is around they make $80 million if it closes. What price would this be? That's around, I can't tell, around 600. Could that happen? I don't know. But then also in the same inverse, if it literally goes to 40, they can make $150 million. Again, these are just extreme cases, just to kind of help you understand on what this overall straddle means. Most likely they're looking for a potential market move up or down drastically within the fund. Even though it can continue to go higher or lower, it really needs to break out of these really key levels. So we're going to go look at that on the chart. So 440 and 340. So we can go back to this. Boom. So that's quite a range that we're looking at here. Again, we're talking, this is not extremely far out, but so we can look here on the options, 48 days out, and we are looking plus or minus $54 where we're at. So $54 we're currently at would basically put it in the range of one of these price targets. So again, the fund is just saying, hey, we don't know if it's going to go up or down, but we want to protect ourselves. So if it continues going up, fantastic, but if it comes crashing down, we also have protection. And it's kind of interesting because they have that protection right at the 50-day simple moving average as well. Again, everything is kind of saying that this is going to go higher, but you just never know in the market. Nothing is 100% for sure. They want to get that protection down there. That's why this overall trade is costing a substantial amount. Because if they just bought the straight calls, yes, it would be literally almost half the cost. But if the stock comes crashing down, their whole investment could be nixed. So they're kind of buying the insurance of these puts to kind of protect themselves on the way down. So they're just betting either or, that it continues going higher and it goes higher substantially, or if it doesn't, it's just going to come down substantially, because we have had a crazy amount of volume in the market looking forth that. So again, $50, was it $54? $54, yeah, 54, let's call it 55. But the potential market move. So the current percentile plus or minus is just implying that it's the 68th percentile move of this particular option. So it can move, again, it can move substantially higher or lower, because again, with anything in the market, it has no plan. It just continues going up or going lower. So just be mindful of that. Those options are just kind of, those numbers are kind of for guidelines. The market makers are just putting those out there as potential extreme moves to near the one standard deviation of the stock. Potentially looking for those prices. Again, it doesn't have earnings on the horizon. I wonder, does it have it on here. Usually they have it on here. Looks like, yeah, it looks like it's coming August 20th is their earnings. So this is, again, a direct play onto that. So yeah, we'll see how it happens. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you learned something. If you have, please hit that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Below we have a fantastic Discord chat that you can come check out. We have that down below, completely free. Join. We talk about stocks, share trading ideas, share different news topics, all kinds of fun things. We also have a Patreon page if you want to help support the channel directly, and I kind of share some more detailed stuff there regarding some watch lists and some other charting ideas. And then on top of that, we have a live stream coming up on Sunday at, I think I did it at 9 o'clock this time, 9 p.m. Just double check, I have it pretty much already booked. So go ahead, and I would love for you to come join that, where we usually just talk about a smorgasbord of different charts and stocks, and look at what could potentially be some new trading ideas, new investing ideas, and just overall some great stuff. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Ken from